Away from Baringo County, learning institutions have often acted as safe havens for children, offering protection to thousands of the vulnerable group who would otherwise be forced into early marriages or face physical and sexual violence. A recent report by the Ministry of Labour on violence against children indicates that 1 in 2 children in the country experience either sexual, physical or emotional violence by the time they reach adulthood. And as Marie Yambo reports, children's rights groups are warning that the long stay away from school due to COVID-19 pandemic is presenting a myriad of challenges for children, some of which may be irreversible.
The outbreak of COVID-19 in the country has forced the government to close schools countrywide to protect children from contracting the virus. However, with children spending more time at home, a recently released 2018-2019 Violence Against Children survey by the Ministry of Labour and UNICEF indicates that some children are at a greater risk of violence. Dr. Patricia Lwach is a public and reproductive health expert and was a lead researcher in the survey.
During this COVID period, there are a lot of people who have lost their livelihood. So there could be a lot of children who are going out to help their parents to seek for livelihood, and during that time they could be violated, or the mere fact that they are contained in the home.
In Kenya, according to the 2018-2019 Violence Against Children National Survey, 1 out of 2 children in the country has experienced some form of violence before the age of 18 years. Physical violence, experienced by both male and female, is most prominent among boys at 50%. Girls more than boys experience sexual violence, with 1 in 6 girls compared to 1 in 15 boys having experienced sexual violence by the age of 18. Perpetrators of violence on children are people known and trusted by the children, including parents and close family members.
They don't imagine that they can actually sexually violate them, and yet they do.
Violence against children is associated with negative health outcomes across their lifetime. Mental health problems including depression and anxiety, high school dropouts, loss of opportunities, risky behaviors like drug abuse, and unwanted pregnancies. Angunjeri Gakoya is a gender-based violence technical advisor at the LVCT Health. She says if urgent action is not taken to protect children, the ramifications are dire.
So if we don't curb it now, if we don't place the emphasis that we need to place in terms of addressing violence against children, for sure we might handle COVID, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when these children are adults, we'll start having the same issues of suicide rates perhaps going up, or substance abuse, and then the blames will start going around. Nobody's connecting it back to this period.
Now, in this particular survey, we found that out of the girls who had sexual violence, 8% of them became pregnant. Now, when a girl becomes pregnant, obviously they'll drop out of school.
Despite laws governing child protection in place, disclosure and reporting among victims is still very low, allowing perpetrators to walk scot-free.
From the perspective of the survivors, who we deal with is they take the cases to their nearest point of contact in terms of security, which is the chief or the police station. Nothing is done about it. So from a survivor's perspective is that that case is not prioritized as it should. So you have the survivor pulling out, not because they want to, but that's a shortfall in their eyes when it comes to implementation of laws and policies.
The Children's UN Body United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, acknowledges the dangers some children face during this time of the pandemic. During the launch of the government's 5-year strategic plan to stop violence against children, UNICEF Kenya representative Maniza Zaman said her wish is to see children across the world protected from harm, calling on member states to robustly implement laws that protect children.
Each one of us, in our own families, in our own communities, have a responsibility to prevent violence against children and to act when we see it. And violence does not discriminate. Children from all social backgrounds and cultures are affected. And right now, with the COVID-19 and its containment measures, we know that this situation is being exacerbated.
Marie Yambo reporting for Channel 1 News.